Senator Boozman.
Thank you, Chair Capito. Ms. Turner, it's good to see you. You have an impressive background, which includes delivering reliable and affordable power to communities in Arkansas, including the hometown that I grew up in, Fort Smith. To do such work, it's essential to maintain strong relationships with the local communities, including tribes. In your previous roles, what successes have you seen in maintaining tribal and community relations that could improve the work of the Office of International and Tribal Affairs?
Senator Boozman, good morning, and I do miss working with you, so it is great to see you.
Well, that's good to know.
Somebody misses working with you, right? This is what you were saying. So it's an important question, and I do appreciate the question. Working for an electric utility, and I've worked for several throughout my career, the relationship you have with your communities is paramount. It's not just the communities you operate and serve, but it's the communities that are your ratepayers, the people who pay your bills, who are impacted by all the decisions that you make. When I was one of the utilities that I worked with, we had some very interesting engagements with, and this is in Oklahoma. As you heard me say earlier, Oklahoma, the land of 39 tribes. There are tribes of different sizes and different wants and needs. Two of the largest tribes in Oklahoma we were able to work with and develop two distribution-level solar farms. Those are tribes with very large economic growth engines, billions of dollars in economic development. So working with them on something as large and important as that was one experience, but to your point, the community engagement being first and foremost in how we negotiated agreements and what did they want to see out of this development. One of my favorites is actually something significantly smaller that I did with again, starting with community outreach. What are the needs of our communities? What do they expect out of, at the time, the company that I worked for? And this was the Uchi tribe, which is not even federally recognized, but it's a small private business on a parcel of land that I think was about 40 acres, fifth generation Oklahoma family, very proud. And we were able to work with them on actually something that was mutually beneficial. One of our largest waste streams as an electric utility is actually vegetation management. So we were able to work with them on their being able to reuse some of what we would otherwise have put in a landfill. It's a relationship that was born right before COVID, sustained them through COVID, and I believe is still in place today. So I use those examples because I think they are examples of what I keep in mind as I think about being confirmed in this role. In the 574 federally recognized tribes throughout the country, their histories are different, their sizes are different, their resources are different, and it's important for EPA in general and in this office to recognize that and to execute EPA's core mission, its federal trust responsibility, and meet the tribes where they need to be met at.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, that's really was going to be my next question, in the sense that communities in Arkansas throughout the country often see major delays in infrastructure projects like upgrades, water systems, business construction, broadband expansion, because the current process for coordinating between EPA, tribal governments, and the Corps of Engineers isn't always the fastest or most effective. It sounds like you worked hard at in your prior capacity to make that work. How do you coordinate amongst those agencies? How do you make it such that it's more transparent? You have greater efficiency across the agencies, so that these projects can get done. The biggest problem that we have is delays and this and that, in the sense that it's very ineffective. Plus, it also increases the cost dramatically.
Senator, thank you for that question. It's a good one. It's an important one. And, working so long in regulated industry, working for a company that had to site and build infrastructure, I understand that frustration of having to work through multiple agencies on any single project where efficiency and deadlines and meeting customers' wants and needs is potentially compromised. You're not the first person that we've heard from that has described a frustration in multiple agency projects and timelines and engagement. It is something on my mind as well. And one of the things I first observed is again, I mentioned it to Senator Kelly, throughout U.S. government, we have something like 18 different consultation policies for tribal nations. Should I be confirmed in the role, that is something I have on my whiteboard, is to want to engage further in, is to understand, is that part of why things aren't getting done? Because different agencies are consulting differently. Are there gaps in that? Are there overlaps? Are there inefficiencies? The other thing that I'll say, and one of the reasons why I said yes when I was asked to serve in this administration, is there is a real commitment, not just by this administration, but by this administrator, to get things moving, to see where the delays are, to streamline permitting processes as we can, and to make things happen where perhaps they've been stalled.
Very good. Thank you, Madam Chair.